Hey y'all, welcome to XOMO. Hello, hello, hello. If you're returning today, thanks for tuning in. How are you doing? And if this is your first time, thank you for joining me today. As you can see from today's title and thumbnail, we're going to be working out like what's holding you back from moving forward and what new things or energies you need to be moving into your life. Last week I kept hearing the phrase like out with the old and in with the new, and that really inspired me to like rearrange my entire room. I cleaned out my closet, even as far as like clearing out contacts and old photos in my phone. And I just have this newfound like mental clarity and motivation in my life. And Spirit asked me to share that with all of you. So today we're really going to be focusing on, like out with the old and with the new. So what you need to clean out and how we're going to help you get there. But before we get into that, if you find any value out of this video, once you get done watching it, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Let me know how you felt about it in the comments and hit that thumbs up. Also, if you got value out of this, please share this video with somebody else, just so this can reach as many people as possible. Alrighty, and without further ado, let's head over to the card selections. Alrighty, hello. Welcome to your card selection piles. So what you want to do this, you want to make sure that your feet are planted firmly on the ground. You want to take a couple of nice meditative breaths. I like to take 3. And then you want to focus your energies on selecting whichever pile resonates with you the most. Something I like to do is I'd like to focus on the crystals first. And then I like to focus on the card piles beneath them. And then I try to find out which seem like a solid pair. If you feel drawn to more than one pile or deck, that's probably because there's another message in them for you. And again, as with all of my readings, they work as confirmations of things that you should already know, or other messages that the divine would like you to be aware of. And again, if anything doesn't resonate, leave it behind. For everything that does resonate, take it with you. Alrighty, so this is pile number 1. This is pile number 2. This is pile number 3. This is pile number 4. Alrighty, I'll see you over at your timestamps. Alrighty, hello pile number 1. This is your reading. This is your pick a card reading, but before we hop into it, I just wanted to say this. I'm not 100% sure, don't mind my nails, girl, it's time for them to be repainted. I'm not 100% sure what this crystal is. I think it's a celestial quartz or something like that. If you happen to know in the comments, please let me know. But I do remember that when I got it, they provided me with a little card that mentioned this card is really good for connecting to our higher selves and breaking the glass ceiling. That phrase really stuck out to me, like breaking the glass ceiling and reaching our highest potentials. And like when we feel like we can't get any better at something, or that like we're kind of in a place where we're stuck, this crystal like really helps me like change my perspective, look at things that I haven't been looking at before, and find a new way to break through and make new discoveries with whatever project or like career path I'm going on. But yeah, I think it's celestial quartz, but let me know if you think it's otherwise. It kind of looks like a moonstone, but I don't think it's a moonstone. Alrighty. So these first 2 cards are going to represent what you are holding on to. And these other 2 cards here are going to represent what's keeping you from releasing them. And after that, I'll show you your oracle cards, and then I'll also pull some more tarot cards to let you know what you should do to move forward and to invite new things and energies into your life. Alrighty, so first off, okay. Okay. Okay, so Right off the bat, I'm seeing that you're tying yourself to something that isn't good for you. This could be a vice, this could be a relationship, but whatever it is, it actually makes you feel sick. It doesn't make you feel good at all. Like after you're done with it, like your energy is spent, you're exhausted. You might even be like a little shaken up and scared with this devil card and reverse here. And whatever it is, it has a pretty strong tie to you. And there's tons of like fire energy here. So again, like there's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of like I'm getting a shaky feeling, especially with the Ten of Wands. Usually when we see the Ten of Wands, it's about the end of a project, the end of a journey, or something that needs to be finished. But whatever it is, like this is something you've been working on for a long time and you need to let it go because you're not getting what you need out of it anymore. And I'm sensing that the thing that's keeping you from moving on is fighting energy. So whoever you're arguing with or fighting with or battling it out or trying to be the bigger person with, that's actually stopping you from moving on. And with the Page of Cups here, you need to make an emotional offering. Yeah, you have all this fire energy, but there's no emotions coming for it. There's nobody deciding to be vulnerable and to come through and to be soft and tell the truth. And if you could find a way, to just have this like really small emotional offering, be very honest, be very vulnerable, that's actually going to help you move on. Alrighty, let's get your oracle cards out. Okay, so you have reclaim your power, you have renewal, and you have presence. Okay, starting with reclaim your power again. This is tying to all that fighting energy you have with the Five of Wands. You don't have to fight. You don't have to go back and forth with people. You don't need to do any of that at all. What you really need to do is just like reclaim your power, and make that very simple emotional offering. Hey, this is tiring me out. This is too much. I simply can't do anymore. And release the urge, to be the bigger person or to win in this argument or this fight or this battle. And this is actually tying me over to the Colt's Foot presence over here. I think if you're able to like breathe and release some of that excitable, crazy, fiery energy, it's actually going to be easier for you to like actually see the truth of the matter, to say, hey, this isn't like, why are we even arguing? Why are we like fighting like this? And just really like having a clear as eyes view of like what the situation is. With the cherry here, if there are any cherry blossoms near you, or if you can buy some cherry blossom scent, this is going to be really good for you, or any cherry trees even, to help you invite that renewal, that new energy. That's going to help you make that emotional offering. So yeah, I'm seeing renewal is really good for you here. Even like, I'm thinking about the cherry blossom scent from Bath and Body Works. I don't know if they sell that anymore. But girl, if you need to, get you some of that, because that's actually going to help you move on. Okay, let me move these cards just so you have a little bit more room. Okay. Oh, this is lovely. And then you have Earth pulsing, pulse of mother, slow down, time in nature. And deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. Alrighty, for Earth pulsing, we have pulse of the mother, slow down, time in nature. A mysterious pulse is woven through all of life. The planet itself has a rhythm. You can see it in the seasons and the tides. If our world of artificial lighting, long working hours, and modern conveniences, it's easiest for it to feel stuck or off kilter. It's time to reconnect with nature and to surrender to the pulse of the earth. Earth pulsing is my favorite tool for surrendering to the rhythmic pulse of the mother and the entire universe. Today, many of us are disconnected from the land beneath us. Somewhere along the way, a severing happened. A moment when it became too painful to stay connected. We feel unsupported and as if we don't belong. We look to other people in the external world to fill the void of connection. holding and belonging once given to us by the earth, taking, clutching, conquering, longing for others to receive us fully, as the mother once did, forgetting that she's still here, waiting for us to remember and activate the part of us that longs to receive her embrace. When you consciously connect with the earth, a veil is lifted, and she opens up and receives you more fully. You are able to drink from her sweet waters and release what no longer serves you. Stagnant energy falls away, and you become connected to all things on the planet. And here's your starseed activation for this card. I surrender to the pulse of the mother. May my heart beat in unison with her. Meditate on that phrase or chant it to yourself a few times. And maybe do this on a walk. Maybe take this outside. Maybe find one of those cherry blossom trees or oak tree. Or even look at this card. This card is so beautiful. If there's any nature around you that makes you feel this way, please go tap into that and say that phrase there. Alrighty, I'm gonna read We Are the Hathors. We the Hathors, deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. Birth is a portal that ushers in new life. The Hathors are here to remind you that you're a child of the cosmic mother and you're being called to be held by her deep, never-ending love and embrace. This is a tender, nourishing card reminding you to receive the deep, deep love of the mother's embrace. The Hathors know that the journey on earth can be rocky and lonely at times, but you're being reminded to rest more deeply in the mother's arms. This is a card of extreme potency, of femininity, of creation, and of birth. You're being called to mother yourself and others too, to surrender to your sacred femininity, to create and surrender to your own creations, to hold and be held. You're being called to remember your place in the web of life and to realize that the cosmic mother is watching you every step of the way. You may be going through a transition right now, moving from one way of being to another. If so, you're being reminded that you're cradled in a sacred container, that you're more held than you can possibly imagine, and you have access to more love than your heart can bear. If you're struggling in any way, you're being reassured that things will work out. Open yourself to receiving the overflowing love of the Cosmic Mother, flooding toward you from every direction. Let it stretch your heart. Your starseed activation here is I allow the deep love of the Cosmic Mother to wash over me. I'm loved, I'm held. So I'm sensing that words are going to be very useful for you. Again, take these words from either of these piles, on your next nature walk, on your next hiking trip, on your next picnic, maybe go read a book under a tree or something. But yeah, I'm seeing that's going to be very useful for you. I'm going to get you some more tarot cards on what you need to do to move on. So can we get some tarot cards, please, on what pile number 1 needs to do in order to release this old energy? Yes, what does pile number 1 need to do in order to invite new and refreshing energy into their life? Yep. Gotcha. Here you go. So yeah, with the 3 of Swords in reverse, so whatever ideas are plaguing you, whatever oh gotcha, there's a lot of Cups energy here. Yeah. So with the 3 of Swords, whatever ideas are plaguing your mind, they're causing you emotional stress. So really pay attention to your thoughts, the words you say to yourself, or even the ideas that you hold in the back of your mind, because sometimes they're not true. And if that's the case, you can release those, and that's gonna create less emotional stress for you. Yeah, you also got the 9 of Cups, the 10 of Cups, and the 4 of Swords in reverse. So yeah, with the Knight of Wands, it's saying don't be afraid to go out and explore and look for something new. Again, whatever this project or passion or job is that you're really invested in, that you're trying to see through to fruition, and that you're fighting with it, you don't need to do that anymore. Go look for something else. Go look for a new passion project. Go look for something else that's going to bring you excitement. Maybe go on a vacation. And with the 9 and 10 of Cups, with the 9 of 10 of Cups, I'm really sensing that, like, I'm sensing that you need to tune in with your family, but then also, like, tune in with yourself. When I see the 9 of Cups, there's a phrase I hold in the back of my mind with this card. Is like, I pay my bills are paid. And this is just about doing all the emotional work that you need to do. So again, maybe making that emotional offering that we saw with the Page of Cups and being mature about it. And again, like, after you've been mature, if the girls still want to fight, if people are still trying to argue and fight, just know that you did your bit, and you don't have to fight or argue anymore, because you did everything in your power to move forward. And from then on, that's going to help you reach your 10 of Cups. And again, just looking at this card, and 10 of Cups is about our happy ending, you know, having everything emotional in our lives. But just looking at this picture, I'm like, maybe you need a vacation. Maybe you need to go out in nature with people. But again, like we were saying with Earth pulsing and then the cherry tree, I really do sense that going into nature is going to be really, really good for you. And then with the 4 swords in reverse, it just tells me that you're not resting. So like, get some rest. Again, like, tying back to this card, maybe taking a vacation, you know, doing something for you, going out and just like not having to think about work, not having to think about this thing that's stressing you out, that you're really tying yourself to, that's taking up all your time. But yeah, that's all I'm getting. I hope this information was helpful. You know, blessed be. Let me know down in the comments if you found this useful. Please share this video if you found it valuable, so that more messages can reach other people. Yeah, thank your ancestors, your spirit guides, your angels, the cosmos, the divine, and yourself for showing up for yourself today. Alrighty, blessed be, and until next time, this is XOMO. Bye. Alrighty, hello, pal number 2. This is your pick a card reading. But before we get started, I just want to show you this crystal. This is the shungite crystal. I love this crystal. Are we in focus? Okay, here we go. I love this crystal. It's one of my favorites. I use it quite often. But it's a really good protection crystal. But I use it to protect me from electromagnetic frequencies. So sometimes I just find when I'm like near so many electronics or like lights, or like chargers, computers, game systems, whatever it may be, I kind of hear like a ringing of like the electronics working in them. But when I keep this crystal by me, I don't feel as affected by them. And that's kind of what I've programmed it to do, to protect me from like the evil eye from other people online, or even just like, you know, the harmful frequencies of like electronics. Oh, airplane. But the thing, if you are interested in getting one of these crystals, I will say that, like, as a protection crystal, it needs to be charged quite often. Are we in focus? Okay, yeah, as a protection crystal, girl, yeah, it needs to be charged quite often. But yeah, it's one of my favorites. Alrighty, so these first 2 cards are going to be like what you're holding on to that you need to release. And these other 3 cards here are going to be what's keeping you from releasing them. Let's go ahead and flip it and get it started. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay. Alrighty, so what I'm sensing with the Ace of Cups and the Death card here is that there was something that ended. Something ended, or something was over. This might have been a death. This could be like an ego death, the end of a job, an end of a stage in your life. But whatever died, it caused you like a lot of overwhelming emotions. Like, and there's just like a lot of emotions from this death process that you're going through that are still around, and you're kind of holding on to them. And I don't want to lessen the fact that like all death comes with grieving, but there's just a lot of emotions there, and I'm sensing that you're kind of reluctant to like release it, and maybe not release it, but find a way to move on. But yeah, the Ace of Cups, it usually signifies like big emotions, a wealth of emotions. That could be new emotions or like heavy emotions. And again, next to the Death card, there's something ended, something substantial ended, and there's like a lot of grief that you have attached to it. Now, with the Six of Wands in reverse and the Three of Coins, I'm just sensing that you're not really around people who are going to help you through this process. And like part of me is like, I don't know if there are people that you went through this death process with, or that you feel like that you have to do it alone. Because when we sing the Hangman in reverse, sometimes it's about martyrdom and feeling like it's all on my shoulders and it has to be just me who has to deal with this, but that's not the case. The Six of Wands in reverse is telling me that you're not trying to be in harmony with other people, especially with the Three of Coins here. The Three of Coins is about like finding teachers, colleagues, friends, other students who are going through the same thing that you're going through, and like building a community around that. And again, like with the Six of Wands in reverse, like you need to find other people who are going to like lift you up, help you through this process, and actually help you move on. Yeah, and like maybe you're even rushing through this. Maybe you're trying to rush through this death process, which isn't helping. You know what I mean? You gotta, first off, I would say take the time you need to like reflect, meditate, get the messages from God so that you can understand why this death happened and what you really need to take away from it. Get in touch with some people that are going to recognize that the process that you went through was really tough, but there was something to learn from it. And yeah, again, building a community that's going to help you make it to the other end. It's really what's keeping you back. Let's get your oracle cards. Okay, so you have dream root, dreams, boundaries, and self-mastery. Okay, right off the bat, the thing that's jumping out to me is this self-mastery, this Vitex tree. Yeah, self-mastery. So I'm not sure if this is like a problem that you have oftentimes before, but this self-mastery card is just speaking to me in the way that like this death process is gonna come about again. This isn't the first or last time it's going to happen. You know, so this is like, so getting in tune with the process of reflecting of like whatever ends and getting in community with people that are going to help you through that process is a lesson that you need to learn, because this isn't the last time that you're going to deal with this problem, and it's going to come back. Boundaries. Again, with this death process or this overwhelming of emotions, I don't know if it's like a relationship or a job or what, but if it's a relationship, this is going to resonate for a couple of people. If this is a relationship, you need to set boundaries about this person contacting you. That's what I'm hearing. You need to put this person at bay. Hey, do not contact me. We're over. We're done. Like, we're not in harmony anymore. So I just need you to get back. You don't know me like that. That's what I'm hearing. And then also drawing boundaries about how long it's going to take you to recover from this overwhelming emotion, this death process, as it were, this grieving. And again, like don't rush yourself through this. Do not rush yourself through this process. Just with dreamer, I'm hearing pay attention to your dreams. Or maybe like if you're in conversation with your spirit guides and ancestors, maybe ask them. It's like, hey, can you help me through this hard time? Can you help me through this process before you go to bed? And they'll deliver tools or like pieces of advice to you during your dreams. Again, journaling your dreams is really good. As soon as you wake up, write down whatever dreams you had. And again, asking your spirit guides, angels, or ancestors before you go to bed, hey, can you help me or give me some advice for getting over this thing that has ended? Alrighty. Let me see. How can I organize these so we can see everything? on the page. All right, and these are your, oh yeah, you got quite a bit. I remember all these popping out. This, like, you, like, out of all of my, like, decks, this deck got a lot of cards. A lot of cards jumped out for y'all. Okay. So first off, water your garden. Nourishment, body care, tenderness, rest. And again, this is connecting me back to that boundaries card. You know what I mean? Do not try to rush through this process. You cannot rush through this process. You have to take all the time that you need to take in order to heal and in order to nourish yourself through the end of this. Like, whatever you're grieving, you got to grieve through it. But the best part is, like, you just don't want to sit around grieving all day. You know what I mean? You got to find some time to pour in yourself. So I don't know if you need to go to a spa, take yourself on a date during the weekends, or whatever it may be, but be sure that you're watering your garden. You're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north. Again, this is a good, if you're going through a breakup, because this again is like, the idea of a breakup is jumping to me, especially with this card. You're not for everyone. So I don't know if you were changing who you were, if you were dimming your light with this relationship that you were in, but this card is about, I'm going to read it to you because I kind of love what it says, but it's about, like, do not waste time, like, adjusting yourself to fit somebody else's needs. That's going to cause more harm than good in the long run. But let me get to it so I can read it to you. You're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north. The world is filled with people who, no matter what you do, just won't like you. But it's also filled with people who'll love you fiercely. They are your people. You're not for everyone, and that's okay. Talk to people who can hear you. Don't waste your precious time and gifts trying to convince others of your value. They won't ever want what you're selling. Don't try to convince them to walk alongside you. You'll be wasting both your time and theirs and will likely inflict unnecessary wounds that will take precious time to heal. You're not for them, and they're not for you. Politely wave them on and continue on your way. Sharing your path with someone is a sacred gift. Don't cheapen it by rolling yours in the wrong direction. Keep facing your true north. Pulling this card means you're being called to embrace your uniqueness, to own your weirdness, to let the world see who you really are, to reveal your multifaceted, multidimensional nature, not to dim your light according to who is in your presence, to own all parts of yourself so that your people, the ones who are the same kind of weird as you, can recognize when you cross paths. Here's your soul inquiry. This is something to journal on, meditate on, or, just to think about while you take a nice walk. How can you embrace your weirdness and not care so much about what other people think? Lovely, lovely. Okay. I'm gonna read this one because I haven't seen this card before and I'm excited to see. But just looking at this, it says forge, don't follow. Pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had. Again, with this death process of whatever's going on, if somebody wasn't there for you the way that they needed to be, you've got to be the person to create that story. You've got to be that leader. And I'm going to read it for you now. Forge, don't follow. If you wait until the path is perfectly paved, you won't be forging your own path, and you'll likely not even take the first step. Don't let a small detail like being unable to find someone to show you the way be the reason you don't step forward and lead. Let it be the reason that you do. The most courageous and needed leaders are the ones who don't wait for permission, or until the morning they wake up feeling ready. They take a deep breath, put one foot in front of the other, and figure it out as they go. Don't wait for someone to lead them. They lead themselves. This is a card for leaders. You're here to pave a path that hasn't been walked before, to go first and to lead the way for others who are calling you in. If you feel misinterpreted in the media, step forward for all of those who feel misinterpreted. If no one's speaking out on the topics you feel passionate about, share your unique voice. There's no one on earth who comes close to possessing your unique combination of skills, gifts, and life experience. Don't look to those who have come before you to work out your path. Leaders must forge their own. Do it for your daughter. Do it for the younger you. Do it for the leaders who'll follow. When you go first, you make it easier for others to follow your lead. Forge, don't follow. Here's your Starseed Soul Inquiry. How are you being called to forge rather than follow? How can you be a leader you wish you had? Great, I'm loving that. So thinking about the Hangman card, that's kind of connecting me to this one. If you're waiting, don't there might be a message that the divine is giving you, and the divine might be telling you that whatever this was isn't working out, and there's something new that you got to do. There's something new that the universe is trying to give you to usher it forward, but you got to create it yourself. And only you can answer what that really is. You know what I mean? I can't tell you what that is. I don't know if this is a new passion project, if this is a new community, if you're building an empire of some sort, or a group or community. I keep getting a community, a group of people who are interested in the same thing that you're in, because the group that you were part of before didn't work out. But yeah, you got to build that yourself. And the 7 Star Sisters, this card is about finding your community. It talks about being a part of a group before we even got here. Before we were birthed, a lot of us make soul contracts about who we're going to meet, the purple we're going to be relationship or community with. And this is about finding that group of people, finding those 7 Star Sisters, and creating together, because you're divinely connected. And eventually you'll feel it in your gut that these are your people and these are who you're connected with. Alrighty, I'm going to get you some more tarot cards on just what you need to do next to invite new, refreshing energy into your life. So can we get some advice for pal number 2 on how they need to invite new energy into their life? Okay, that's what we got here. Okay. Okay, the cards are jumping. But I think we're all set with this here. Okay. You got quite a few cards. Okay, you got quite a few cards. And I'm just going to go through these. I'm just going to break these down one by one. So with the 8 of Swords, again, with the Hangman in reverse, 6 of Wands in reverse, if there's anything, don't be scared. I'm sensing that there's actually nothing for you to be scared of. There's nothing in your immediate surroundings that are stopping you from progressing forward. It's really just your own anxieties preventing you from moving forward, from moving forward, exploring, looking for information, looking for that new passion project, and going on new adventures. With the 6 of Cups, I love the 6 of Cups. It's one of my favorite cards. It's about making emotional offerings, sometimes to children, sometimes to our inner child, but also it's also about reminiscing. But with this, I'm sensing maybe that there's some maybe you need to take your inner child on a date. When you wake up in the morning sometime, just tap into your inner child and say, hey little one, what do you want to do today? And whatever the first couple of things that come to your mind are, that's your little child, and that's what they want to do, so do it. With the Devil card in reverse, release all that's not serving you. So I'm hearing that there might be a vice. There might be a vice actually tying you. If you have unhealthy coping mechanisms, that can actually be the thing. So this could be shopping addiction, this could be drugs, alcohol, or just like overall like zoning out, binge watching TV when you know that there's like emotional work that you got to do. Maybe go to therapy, maybe journal, maybe meditating. Yeah, I'm real like vices are really coming through to this, especially with these heavy emotions. Um, However your coping mechanisms are actually getting in the way of you moving forward. And again, maybe going to that therapy or treating your inner child to something is going to help you move forward. Everything is fine. This is the Ten of Swords in reverse, but this is just knowing that the end of this story, whatever the end of this story is, it's over. It's over, and now it's time to recover. Now it's time to move on and keep it pushing. Excuse me, just make sure everything's in frame. And again, for this new path that you got to forward, this empire you're building, this community that you're pulling together, it's going to be hard work. It's going to be hard work, but take it one step at a time. You know, you're not going to see this come to fruition all at once. You start planting your seeds now, and then you'll see it grow and grow and grow. And it's going to be hard work. It's not going to be easy. I'll say that, I'll say that again and again and again, but start slow. Start slow. Alrighty, I hope this resonated. This went a lot of different places, and yeah, let me know if this resonated for you or if it made sense. And the Vine had a lot they wanted to say to you. So many cards jumped out. There's so many things for you to do. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Please share this video with somebody if you found value out of it. And until next time, this is XOMO. Thank your angels, spirit guides, the universe, the divine, and yourself for showing up for you today. Blessed be. Bye. Oh, hello, pal number 2, and welcome to your pick a card reading. Thank you for joining me. Just a little bit about how this reading is going to work. So I'm sensing these three. These 3 cards here are going to be like what you're holding on to and what you need to release. And these 2 cards here are going to be what's keeping you from actually releasing those items. But before we jumped into that, I wanted to give you a little bit of information about this crystal. So this crystal here is one of my absolute favorites. It's a citrine. Citrine was the first crystal that I ever had. It wasn't this one necessarily, but it's the first type of crystal that I had. But I love this crystal because it really invites in like prosperity, wealth, good luck, creativity, confidence, strength. And I remember when I first got this crystal and I took it to work for the first day. I was a server at the time. And that was the most money. I think I made like around $250 that shift, but it came with a lot of hard work. So yeah, if you're interested in getting this crystal, I would definitely recommend it. It's definitely good for attracting abundance and money, but forewarning, it's gonna come with work. Alrighty, and without further ado, let's get into your reading. Coins, Page of Swords, 9 of Swords, World card, and the Hermit. Okay, so I'm just sensing that you're not doing your best. You're not doing your best. And it's because you're scared. You're worrying about something. This could be like with the swords here, these are just like the ideas or words that you're saying to yourself. And with the Page of Swords, you're not looking for information that's going to make your craft better. You're not doing research that's going to make you better. And the 9 of Swords, you're kind of worrying, like, I keep hearing, what's the point anyway? What's the point anyway? And 9 of Swords is about worrying to the point of like complete like isolation. Not isolation, but like you're freezing yourself up because you're scared. It's like worrying to the point of immobilization. That's the word I was looking for. But yeah, with the 8 of Coins in reverse, it's like a shabby job. Again, I'm saying you're not doing your best. you're not completing the job to fruition. You might be cutting corners. I didn't come to read anybody, but this is just what's coming through. Like you're not doing the best. When we see the Eight of Coins upright, it's about doing the hard, diligent work to like perfect our craft, to perfect the thing that we're working on, that we want to create an empire, a business, and a career out of. When we see the Eight of Coins in reverse, we're just not doing that work. We're just not doing the work to make that happen. We're not doing the work. And again, the Page of Swords, it's about finding new information. It's about doing research. It's about like communicating with people to make our craft or whatever this thing is that we're passionate about better. And again, you're not getting those ideas because you're worried. I keep hearing that you're worried. You're scared that it's not going to be good anyway. But that's not true. Like, it's never going to be good if you don't practice. It's never going to be good if you don't look for ways to make it better. I was like, ooh. Divine's a little hostile with this one, okay? And with the World card, it's about the end of the story, and it's literally about completion. It's literally about completion. And I'm also getting like reflection. So I'm getting like whatever it is that you're doing, you might do it once through, but you're not going back over the first draft. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing 3 different drafts. You're not going back and trying to edit. You're not trying to sharpen it. You're just kind of doing it, phoning it in, and then moving on. But the World card is about doing the thing to completion, and you not doing it to completion is keeping you from moving forward. So this habit of psyching yourself out, like, what's the point anyway? Why am I going to pour all this energy into it? It's not going to be good. That's actually stopping you. And then the Hermit card, again, it's about having that reflection. It's about doing the review. It's about sitting down alone and just like checking it out by yourself and like seeing what worked, what didn't work. But with the Hermit card, I'm also kind of getting that maybe you need to like block out other people or influences. The Hermit is about being a loner. It's about like, kind of like siloing ourselves off from the world to meditate, ground ourselves, and just doing everything that we need to do to reflect on how our week, our day went, so that we can really analyze what's working for us and what's not working. Again, like the seven of Pentacles isn't here, but I'm getting that maybe the Seven of Pentacles should be here, because again, the Seven of Pentacles is about reviewing our work, reflecting, looking at what's working, what's not working. So yeah, do it to completion, and then also like block out other people during that process. And it's okay to invite other people in later, but before you say that it's done, maybe reflect on it. You know what I mean? Maybe go back and look at it. Let me get your oracle cards. So you have Wormwood Mystery, have Hoop Celebration, and Dandelion Manifestation. Okay, girl. Okay, Dandelion Manifest. I love Dandelion. Dandelion is a wonderful root. People say it's weed. It's not a weed. It's one of the most abundant like plants and herbs on this planet, and it takes care of our heart. It takes care of our heart, our hopes, and like what we're able to do. Like, it's one of the most abundant things around us, and I really do believe that the universe and the earth gave it to us to actually help us take care of ourselves. But yeah, with manifestation, the Magician is popping into my head, and the Magician is somebody who takes all the tools around them, all of their resources, and they're not afraid to even go out and look for resources to manifest the life that they want, or to manifest the product that they want to have. So yeah, maybe work with some dandelion root, maybe get some dandelion tea, or just like, collect dandelions. Go on a walk and find as many dandelions as you can, and take those home with you to help imbue you with some of those energies of proper manifestation. Celebration. Okay, so going back to your reading, I'm just going to pull these out of the way and have the celebration here. If you're not doing right, if you're worried about the process of this thing and you're not trying to perfect it, with this celebration card here, the thing that's just coming to my mind, you got to give yourself credit where credit is due. You know what I mean? And again, even if you do this thing and like you didn't you didn't perfect it. Let's say you complete this project, there's this piece of work that you did and you didn't perfect it. What you need to do is, as it's done and as you're looking back on it, you do need to give yourself credit. You got to give yourself good job. You know what I mean? You still got to give yourself credit and love in that way. Like, okay, this might not have been perfect, but I'm happy that I got it done. And say you were building a car, you know what I mean? These tires look really good. I put the tires on really well. The paint job's nice. You know, the alignment is kind of fucked up. The transmission isn't the best. But again, I did a really good job on the paint job or the tires, you know what I mean? And again, that's just what I'm sensing. I'm sensing that you might not be putting all your effort in because you're not giving yourself credit for the things that you're doing well. Give yourself credit for the things that you are doing well and take those things that you're doing well into the next time that you do it, into the next practice that you have. And the Wormwood Mystery, I kind of love this card, but it's about magical things happening around us and about us being able to make magic ourselves. And when little synchronicities or magical moments happen, it's about not questioning it. You know what I mean? If something magical happens by accident, take that as a win. You know what I mean? Don't be like, oh, that was just a fluke. Girl, it wasn't a fluke. It was meant for you, so take it. So take it. Alrighty. This is such like, there's so much like fiery energy behind this. This stone in particular, it's connected to Geminis, Libras, Aries, and Leos. So yeah, if you're one of those signs, maybe Virgo. Maybe not Libra, maybe Virgo. It's Libra or Virgo, but definitely Gemini, Aries, and Leo. I'm like hype. I'm hype doing this reading. Yeah, let me put these here. Let's get your last little round of oracle cards. Okay, up next you have Share Your Song, Frequency Sound, Diving Deep, Lost Lands, Soul Memories and Gifts. You've done this before. Okay, these are good cards. Orion Energy, Polarity, Soul Growth. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and read these to you, but I actually want you to take a closer look at them. There's a lot of, the color blue is really coming through here, and I'm sensing that water is gonna be really helpful in you releasing these old patterns that are not serving you. So again, something I like to do is like maybe get a glass or ceramic bowl, fill it up with water, and then speak into it everything that you wanna release. If it's like this bad habit, any bad habits, any worries, stress, or anxieties, or this idea of like it's never gonna work out anyway, what's the point? Speak everything that you want to release into this bowl of water, and take it to a river or a stream or a lake if that's accessible to you, and then pour it into that stream or whatever the running body of water is, and just imagine it like leaving your body, leaving your spirit, and leaving it away from you as you invite new things in. This doesn't even have to be like a natural body of water. You know, if a rainstorm comes by, you know, take advantage of that and run that body of water to a storm drain. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, even like flushing it just down the drain. You know what I mean? Flushing it down the toilet. I wouldn't recommend doing it like in your sink or your... Hello, pile number 3. So, just a quick little update, girls. So, my camera started acting funny near the latter half of like my readings, and it would just like stop and go, and it was like really weird. But after like cleaning up, girl, I found out that like it wasn't even recording. Like it was recording, but because I didn't have any space on my phone, it wasn't saving the video footage anywhere. So I actually lost the latter half of your video footage, but here I am to re-record it for you. And the only things that I lost for pile number 3 are me reading your oracle cards, and your action plan. So that's what I have here. I'm gonna redo these readings for you. But first, let me go ahead and tap in and read your oracle cards. Okay, so we have Whale and Orca Elders. Another look at the card for you. I guess it's your first look, girl. Okay. So the whale and orca elders are benevolent cosmic beings here to anchor a frequency of love onto the planet, to harmonize it with their song. As they weave around the oceans, they do so much more than any of us know. Their physical presence affects Earth's magnetic field, and their harmonics call us to wake up and remember our own soul song. Looking into the eye of a whale is something you'll never forget. Whales see into your very being, and in an instant, you're changed forever. They see beyond the physical, the woundings, the identity, the personality, the story. They see right into your soul. If you pull this card, you're being called to surrender to your deepest truth and to share it with potency, to bow to who you truly are, to stretch your heart wide enough to hold it all, to leave your fears, doubts, and baggage at the door, to question any part of you that doesn't feel good enough. The whale and orca elders want you to give others the privilege of seeing who you truly are, and for you to see the same in other beings, to drop your hang-ups and personality flaws, and to get busy revealing the unique note your soul came here to sing. Allow the song that echoes in the four chambers of your heart to emanate in all four directions. Peel back the layers of suffering and pain and reveal to others your soul's true song, and endeavor to see the soul of all those you meet. Your meditation question or journaling question is, how are you being called to share your soul's unique song? Alrighty. Moving on to Lost Lands. These are beautiful cards. And again, just sorry if these don't seem like as fresh or like as authentic, because like I already went through this reading and I'm just like, you know, doing it again. But here we go. The world is far more ancient than our documented history suggests. As souls, many of us have experienced ancient eras on this planet that were much more advanced than ours today. As we begin to remember these times, the rememberings and gifts can come flooding back. At this stage in Earth's timeline, we need the wisdom of the ancients to survive as a species. You're being called to connect with the lost wisdom of your own soul. If you feel guided to make a change in your life, to step into a new career path, birth a creation, or bring an idea to life, but feel unprepared, this card is calling you to consider that you've done this before. Perhaps your soul has wisdom beyond what your lifespan can imagine. Perhaps the intuitive hints and ideas you're receiving are divinely guided. Perhaps you've been preparing for this time. Some think that lost lands exist in the past, others believe they exist today. In a different dimension, I believe these ancient lands also exist in the souls of those who experience them. If this card comes to you, perhaps the wisdom of lost lands such as Lemuria, Atlantis, and Avalon exist within you. And through surrendering to the intelligence of your soul, you can unlock the seeds of these ancient lands so we can all learn from our mistakes and usher in a new age. Here's a chant for you. I unlock any forgotten wisdom and soul gifts from lifetimes past. Alrighty, here's your last oracle card. Karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, and conflict. Alrighty. The constellation Orion is thought by many to have been a place of great polarity and even eventual unity. Some believe that many starseeds who were part of this cosmic history are incarnate on Earth now and are playing out karmic relationships from Orion times. Perhaps you're one of them. Polarity causes conflict and highlights separation. However, because of this, conflict can also result in unity and growth. Too many misunderstandings are caused when we don't open our heart and mind and see things from a different point of view. When we go into reactive second-guessing mode, instead of gathering the courage to open our heart, we should admit that we have reacted because of our own woundings, and then find mutual ground. We're all innocent children looking to be seen, understood, and cherished. It's much harder to grow closer through conflict than it is to grow further apart. And yet, that's the invitation of conflict. It's easy to react and take things personally. It's more challenging to see the innocence of all involved and find a way to grow closer through the conflict. It's through relationships that we grow the most. How can you soften your heart and drop your defenses enough to see things from a different point of view? How can you see the innocence of all involved? How can you learn to see the similarities rather than the differences? Here's a journaling question for you. Which relationships do you find the most challenging? How can you see things from a different perspective? How are you being called to allow growth through conflict? Alrighty. And so, yeah. So this is your action plan. So yeah. Based on what's happening, I'm sensing that I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember your reading, but like your perspective, like the star card in reverse is telling us to change our perspective. Again, I think that phrase that you have is like, what's the point? It doesn't matter anyway. The star card in reverse says change your perspective about things. You know what I mean? Look to the future and hold the vision of the way that you want things to happen and to hope for the best. When you hope for the best, you actually create the space for them to be manifested and for them to come through. The rest of your cards kind of sense to me because I remember you having the Hermit card, and with the Three of Cups in reverse, it's telling me that you're spending too much time around your friends or too much time partying. And again, I'm kind of getting this with the Four of Swords too. So again, tying it back to the Hermit card, I don't know if you need to spend more time alone resting, or if just the way that you're partying is like it's draining all your energy. You know what I mean? So find some time to rest, to recuperate, to really feed into yourself, and to not give so much of your energy to other people. When you allow yourself to have your hermit moment to meditate and to give to yourself, that's when you'll really be able to have like new intuitions and reflections and discoveries about your work process or the thing that you're investing in. The Emperor in reverse, just what I'm sensing like with the Emperor in reverse, I'm sensing that maybe you need to draw better boundaries around your work. The Emperor, like upright, is a boss bitch, period. He's also like connected to Aries energy, and he's rather selfish. And I think I'm not sure if you're being selfish enough. I'm not sure if you're drawing boundaries around what you need to do for work. And like once you draw those boundaries, once you're logical, clear, and direct about what you need to do for your workplace and for those projects you're investing time and energy into that you're practicing and developing, it'll be much easier for those projects to come to fruition and for them to have the complete celebration that you're having at the end. And again, the Knight of Cups in reverse, I'm also sensing, what I'm hearing is that you're kind of afraid to collaborate or to ask for help. That's what I'm hearing. And to like make an emotional offering. I'm sensing that you're not like, hey, I could really use some help for this. Don't be afraid to ask for help. You know what I'm saying? I'm not feeling really confident about the work that I'm doing. And again, this is nothing that any of us ever want to hear. You know what I mean? Nobody ever wants to hear that when working with a boss or in a work environment. But yeah, I'm sensing don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to say that you need help. But also, furthermore, just with this Knight of Cups, I'm also sensing that maybe you need to empty your emotional cup. Again, like when I was talking about the water and speaking that negative self-talk or those bad ideas, the guilt, the shame, into that water bowl and emptying it somewhere, that's kind of what I'm getting with this Knight of Cups, to release all the emotional baggage that's keeping you from believing in yourself and like hoping that the best is going to happen. Alrighty, well, thank you. Thank you for tuning into this reading. Please thank your ancestors, spirit guides, and angels for tuning in and helping you. And also thank yourself for tuning in. If you found value out of this video, please share it with somebody. Leave me a comment. Let me know what really resonated. Like, subscribe. And until next time, this is XOMO. Bye. Hello, pal number 4. Okay, girl. So, quick message before we hop into it. So, I already recorded your reading, but like my camera was glitching. And then like it was recording, like the record button was on and it was like recording the time, but because I was out of memory space, the footage wasn't actually being saved. So in short, I already did this reading. I already know what the cards are gonna say. So please excuse me if it doesn't sound as like fresh as some of the other piles may have found. But I think honestly, it's like reinforcing your message. But we're gonna get into it because I kind of have to take a note from your message. But yeah, we're gonna get into it shortly. And yeah, just wanted to forewarn you that like I already know what these cards are gonna say. So it's gonna be maybe a little quicker than the other ones. But first off, let's get into your crystal. So your first crystal here is Chrysocolla, I think it's pronounced. I really love this crystal. It's about cleansing negative energies from us. It cleanses like guilt, doubt, shame, and any of those things, and makes room for like confidence, celebration, innocence, joy, inner balance, and peace, and really raises our overall vibrations. I really love this crystal. It's great. And yeah, so this is a little bit about that crystal. But yeah, hopping right into your reading, you have the Tower card, have the Four of Coins, Five of Coins in reverse, Temperance in reverse, and the Star card in reverse. Gotcha. Excuse me. So what I'm sensing that you're holding on to, these two cards right here are going to be what you're holding on to, and what's holding you back. And these three cards here are really what's keeping you from releasing this stagnant and heavy energy. So what you're holding on to, just with this here, I'm sensing there was something that you invested a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of energy into, and it was completely destroyed. Like it was completely destroyed. The Tower card is about like upsets, surprises, and complete destruction of a thing. And I keep looking at the stone and the brick of this tower here is jumping out to me, which tells me that you really invested in this thing for a long time. And then like, I really love this card. This is Tarot of the Divine deck, where it attaches like little folkloric stories to it. This is Rapunzel. Girl, she didn't cut off her hair and she's jumping out of this building. Rapunzel was growing this hair for years, 16, 17, 18, 19 years, girl. And that's why I'm getting why you're holding on to it so tightly, even to your detriment. If we look at the Four of Coins here, this girl, she's holding on to these coins so tightly. And there's this vulture that she's scared of, but she does not want to let go of her coins. But if she let go of these coins, the vulture would take the coins and then she'd actually be able to enjoy the abundance of flowers that's around her. So yeah, so there's something that you invested a lot of time and energy and love into, and it was destroyed, and you're just having a hard time letting that stuff go. Now, as far as like what's keeping you from moving on, Five of Coins in reverse tells me that you don't want to ask for help. You don't want to ask for help. You don't want to start all over again, and you don't really want to collaborate with anybody on the process. Temperance card in reverse tells me that you don't want to start from scratch. You don't want to mix and match of what you have and what you have left. It's either like if you're going to leave this situation, you want to move on to a situation where it was just as perfect, it was just as abundant, like all the time that you invested in it is invested in this new thing. But realistically, girl, that's not going to happen. And that's why I think that you're upset, honestly, truthfully. I wouldn't want to give all this up either. You know what I mean? 17 years of hair growth, a really nice pretty bed, a tower on your own, and then I just have to give that up for something for like 2 bricks and finger waves? I don't want that. And I honestly don't blame you. But, you know, like the Temperance card in reverse, it's saying don't take an all or nothing approach. You know what I mean? It's really saying that like you need to mix and match. If you were able to salvage anything from this situation, salvage what you can, take the best parts of it, and mix and match as you build onto something new. You also have the Star card in reverse. The Star card in reverse is telling me that you're not looking at, it's telling me that you're focusing on all that you lost and what happened to you. But the Star card in reverse is telling me that what you should do is, instead of focusing on what happened to you and what you lost, you can look at what you have to gain and all that has been done for you. All that has been done for you. Because maybe this tower wasn't completely perfect. Maybe it was on faulty foundation. But with everything that you learned from this, from building this tower, and after it was destroyed, you actually have the knowledge and the skills and the information to go ahead and build a new future and foundation. And that's why I ended up turning these cards. That was the reversal interpretation, but I just want to turn these upright for you because you can ask for help. You can ask for help to help you build that empire, that business, that building, that family again that you're interested in. Become an alchemist. Work with a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Start small. It's gonna take some time. It's probably not gonna take as long as it took for you to build this first tower, but you gotta be invested in the process. And also have hope. Have hope. The star card in the major arcana is number 17, and then the tower card is number 16. So this card comes exactly after this one. And what the phrase is like, only in the darkness can we see the light. So have hope for a better future, that something new and greater is going to come along for you. You know what I mean? Look to the stars, look to the future. It's not going to be here immediately, but something more magnificent is going to come. And what I'm sensing is that like what happened here, you're going to be able to have a greater and bigger impact with whatever else you have coming through, whatever else you're going to be able to build. Okay, dokie, let me make sure I feel like I have more room. I feel like I have more room in this reading than I did in the other ones. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, I really had to take the universe wanted me to fail, wanted the footage to fall so that I could learn. This was because I was having problems with like how much room that I had. But now that I'm doing it a second time around, I've worked out a camera frame where I don't have to layer the cards on top of each other. Okay, and this goes here. Okay, so yeah, I was really excited when I saw this card the first time around because this is great. You really can't see all the cards. I'm sorry, I'm a little excited. But yeah, with this Oaths Fertility card around, the universe is literally saying that you have the ability to birth something new. You have everything that you need to birth a new creation, birth something that's more wonderful, birth something that's better. It's just as fulfilling as what you had before. You just got to be willing to birth that. You just got to be willing to create that and to have something new and wonderful come in. And again, with the interconnected card, like I was saying, what the next thing that you're coming through with, the next thing that's going to come in, it's going to connect you to more people. It's going to fulfill you in a better way. And you're actually going to be, I'm sensing that you're going to have like spiritual payoff. You're going to be able to spiritually like fill other people's cup. It was fated. It was fated for this to fall. It was fated for this tower that you had built up to fall. Excuse me. Because it wasn't perfect. But the universe wants to provide you with something better, and it's going to connect you to more people, more lives with a bigger purpose. And again, with the inner child card, I was saying you might have chosen another deck because I was talking about their inner child with another one. I'm not going to say which one, but something that's going to help you move the needle along and keep pushing it is spending some time with your inner child. Our inner childs, they're notorious for loving to explore and to discover and just have fun and delight in everything that we have, like right in front of us. Every day there's something new to find out. Every day there's something new to discover and have an adventure with. So like if you have the opportunity, like when you wake up, say, hey, inner child, what do you want to do today? The first one or two things that pop into your mind, make sure that you do those things that day, because investing in your inner child and that energy of play and discovery, excitement, is going to help you move the needle and letting this energy go and building that new empire, that new tower, that new business, that new family. Alrighty. Okay, so up next are your oracle cards. These are more oracle cards, rather. Surrender to the sweetness of life. Harafe, and Double Mission. Really quickly, this oracle card is about having a physical mission and a spiritual mission. So we have a life path that we will be going on, but there's also a spiritual one that we need to complete. You are a light worker, and whatever this thing is that you're building or that you're going to be investing in, like I was saying before, it's going to help other people. You're going to raise the universal like vibration. The people around you, they're going to feel lighter in spirit and happier because of the work that you're doing. Hooray. This is saying that you're homesick for something a little more spiritual, to be connected to the stars and the cosmos. This is just saying, know that that everything that you miss, everything that you might have lost, everything that you're pining or homesick for it still exists with it. It still exists within you, and it always will exist within you. So just tap into it, tap into your intuition and meditate, and know that everything that you're longing for already exists within you. And this is surrender to sweetness, Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. I'm going to read this one for you. Let me see. I'm just going to scoot these all up a little bit. Surrender to the sweetness, Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. This is a sensual, highly feminine card. It's a call to surrender to the sweetness of life, to let the ever-abundant feminine take over, to taste the fruits you've been working so hard to grow, to let your senses take over and to really drink in your life with wonder, to get intoxicated on the simple bounty that this planet has to offer, and which you have within you when your well is full. The ancient Babylonians connected the feminine goddess Ishtar to the planet Venus. And in Roman mythology, Venus was the goddess of love and beauty. In our night sky, aside from the moon, Venus shines the brightest. Side note, Venus is also connected to Taurus and Libra energy. So again, this is about beauty, connecting to nature, love, connection, balance, and enjoying everything that's like luxurious and beautiful and comforting about here life on earth. Going back to the reading, time is our most precious resource, and it's the greatest healer. If you've been all work and no play, this is a sign to take some time out, to reconnect with your lover, play with your children, and give yourself the luxury of time without an agenda. Many of us are so busy building our lives that we forget to enjoy them. We forget why we decided to build them in the first place. Disconnection from the sweetness causes more pain than we realize. So many of us walk into soulless buildings 5 days a week in the name of survival. We've strived to build the life of our dreams, but drive ourselves to exhaustion. This card is wooing you back to the pleasures of being human, to focus on what really matters and enjoying your incredible life. And here's a question to meditate on or to journal about. How can you surrender to the sweetness of life? What's one way you can enjoy your life a little more? Alrighty. Now that's it for your oracle cards. And here's what I pulled for your action plan on how to release any stagnant or old energy, and how to invite new and refreshing energy into your life. Got this one. You got a lot of cards. A lot of cards jumped out, I'm telling you right now. So the first couple that jumped out were these three. With the Three of Wands, just what I'm sensing is that the way that you built this tower the first time, like the planning that you did, the strategy that you had, the diligence that you did, like the way that you planned something and you watched it play out, you can do all that work again. And the Three of Wands is inviting you to do that. So everything that you've done to plan to build your first tower, you could build a second tower that's going to be even more fulfilling the next time around. With the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, this is fate. The Wheel of Fortune is about fate, about things happening the exact way that they're going to do, the exact way they're going to be, the completion of a cycle. And with this card in reverse next to the Five of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune is 10, the Five of Wands is like half of that, which is 5. And I'm just getting that you need to stop fighting what happened, because what happened was fated to happen, and it was going to happen whether you wanted it to happen or not. So release that, know that what happened was going to happen either way, and stop fighting that. If you want to fight anything, fight for this new tower you're going to build. Fight for that. The next thing that you got was like the Fool. The Fool is about literally just starting a new journey, starting something new. You know what I mean? And the lovely thing about the Fool is that the Fool does not know how the process is going to go, but that does not stop them from going on the journey. They go anyway because they're called to it. You know what I mean? The universe is saying, go this way. And they're like, all right, I'm going to go. You know what I mean? I don't know the end result. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I'm going to do it anyway because that's what I'm being called to do. You have the Death card in reverse, which is another call to me telling me that like whatever died, whatever was destroyed, is that you really need to let it go. The Death card is one of my favorite cards because look at this. This is terrifying. There's this dead man. There's this black river. There's this old woman pleading. I'm sensing this is kind of you. Like you're wiped, you're towed. You're like, please, no more. I don't want to do it. But the Death card in reverse tells us that finish the grieving process and move on. Because the sooner we let go whatever it was that died, you really get to enjoy this new sun that's coming through. There's rebirth. There's a new phoenix rising. There's new joy, love, and excitement coming through. But we really got to complete the process of letting whatever died die and pass on. You got the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is about knowing that you have an abundance of options. You probably have more options now than you had before, girl, guy, whoever you may identify as. Okay, ladies. You have more options. So just know that you have more options and pick whichever one you want. Girl, you got the rose, you got this heart, snakes, Black Lives Matter, jewels, money, this celebration of Tory Reef, or chaos. You can choose chaos if that's what you want to do. But just know that you have more options. Then with the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, the Ace of Wands is very much telling me that you have the opportunity to birth a new project, a new form of excitement that's just going to be just as exciting as the thing you had before. With the Ace of Pentacles, just what I'm hearing with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse is that you got to want it. You got to want it. You got to do the work. You got to do the research. You got to take the time to invest in that new thing. In the new star card, to invest in that new Ace of Wands, to plan in that new Ace of Wands, so that the work that you're not doing will actually turn into something that's very valuable, that's wonderful, that's new, and it's going to be just as fulfilling as the thing you had before. Yes, and last but not least, you had a third ace. You had a third ace. A third ace, girl. Which is saying that once you do this, new emotional abundance and joy and fulfillment is waiting for you. Alrighty? Okay. And like, take it from me, girl. I lost this entire reading. This was a huge reading. There were a lot of cards here, but I lost it all. I lost it all. But you know what? I went back, I did it again, and from that process, I learned that there's a better way to frame my camera so that I can get more cards on the table. Look at that. Let the divine, let that message be, let that be a lesson for you, my loves. Thank you for watching. Please thank your ancestors, spirit guides, angels, the universe, the cosmos, whoever you praise to. And don't forget to thank yourself for coming in and trying to get some new information. If you found value out of this video, please comment, like, share this with more people so these messages can reach more bodies and spirits. Again, the highest in me honors the highest in you. And until next time, this is XOMO. Bye.